Hey everyone, Tin Man here, back with some more Dota Underlords. Currently playing ranked, and I'm ranked around 120 right now. I think 121, which is actually pretty close to my personal highest I think I've ever hit. I've had a lot of really good games on stream recently that's been helping that climb. Been climbing a whole lot of ranks the past couple days. So we're going to pick up Tiny here, first pick. I like Tiny a lot. Some people have been voicing a lot of support for Ogre Magi recently. He does a lot of good work early in the game. He's got a lot of health, does a lot of damage. I just kind of value the Tiny stun. I think that's very valuable as well, and kind of goes onto a build path that I'm a bit more satisfied with in Warriors as opposed to Mages in the early game. So we'll pick up the Gloves of Haste here. I think that's the best item option. Hood of Defiance is another consideration. It's pretty good if you want to have a little bit of magic resistance in the late game if you've got a big carry like a Doom or Chaos Knight who doesn't really need any other item. And here we're just going to pick up 3 Enchantresses. Okay, well, normally you like to lock whenever you get 3 of a kind in the first pack. And, well, we didn't get 3 of the kind in the first pack, but we got in the second pack. So anything I was talking about Tiny, that is out the window, and we're going to pick up an Enchantress instead. We see one other person who has a pair of Enchantresses, and no other pairs out there, so I'm not going to really put too much stock into what direction people are going to go right now. But definitely this 2-star Enchantress makes other Druids, specifically Treant Protector, really, really strong right now. If we can pick those up, they'll become immediately 2-star when we play them due to the Druid bonus, and then that can just help us to win the early game. I think we'll pick up a second Gloves of Haste here. Blightstone is another consideration for its high damage output. But Vitality Booster is just generally a step below. It's probably one of the worst items in the game. It just doesn't do enough in the early game or in the late game. So no Druids here to really make an easy decision. I think I'm just going to pick up Timbersaw and Ogre Magi. These are the highest health units. They both have 800 health baseline. I guess Axe has 805, but a little bit worse, I think, than Ogre and Timbersaw. In fact, I might actually sell off the Timbersaw now that I'm thinking about it. I might want the Warlock to pair with the Bloodbound for Ogre Magi. Timbersaw is a slightly better unit, but I think the Bloodbound bonus might be more impactful. I'm not entirely sure how I want to organize this formation. Alright, well there's a Smuggler. You know, you generally like Smuggler on round 2 so that you can get better options on round 3, but Smuggler is by far the best item here. It's like a strictly better version of Embarrassment of Riches, and obviously much better than Claymore, which is a pretty poor item on its own right. Just doesn't deal quite as much damage as something like Gloves of Haste will for most parts of the game. So here we see a Shadow Fiend, and I think the Shadow Fiend is going to have a ton of damage output just on this very early game because he's the demon and just has a very high DPS number, while somebody like Warlock has really low. Even if you would give bonus to the Ogre Magi, I think the higher damage from Shadow Fiend just outweighs that at the moment. But our 2-star units... Actually, I should probably move this Gloves of Haste off of Ogre and back onto Shadow Fiend if I wanted to be really efficient to win this, but I think we're going to win this regardless. And now with our gold, we can pick up a pair of Drow Rangers because we're going to win and get the bonus gold here. Just like picking up pairs of reasonably useful units. This kind of start doesn't really give us any great direction. I'm not entirely sure what we want to do with this start. It's a little bit scattershot. There's a Nature's Prophet. That's essentially a 2-star unit we can just play. So I'm going to throw that in over this Mr. Warlock, and you know what, I'm actually going to go with Chaos Knight over Shadow Fiend. I think Chaos Knight he actually has higher DPS than the Shadow Fiend, and is a much more resilient, so I kind of like him over the Shadow Fiend, and goes into a better build, the Knight's build, rather than Shadow Fiend, who doesn't really fit well into anything. He kind of fits into Mages, but that's about it. Ooh, we might lose this one. This Venomancer is gonna get us over time. Oh wow, we did lose. I could go a bit more on Mages, or I could grab the Luna or Crystal Maiden here. I think I'm just gonna grab the Luna I guess there's one person on Knights. Maybe I should have grabbed the Crystal Maiden instead. Maybe trend a bit more towards a Mage's build. I mean, this pack looks a lot more like Mage's. Nature's Prophet can work into Mage's builds. I think what I actually want to do... I think I want to sell up to 10 gold for interest. The Shadow Fiend does work with Mages as well. I'm just not entirely sure what direction we're going here. I'm really upset we lost that. I thought for sure we'd be on a good win streak with this two stars here. But they also had a two-star Druid, so nothing's guaranteed, of course. You can pick these guys up, pick up the Lycan. We can actually pick up everything and just keep our options open. I probably want to put in Lycan here over the Ogre Magi because he's going to get our Savage bonus, which is actually quite strong, giving +7 attack damage on every attack. So over the long fights, we'll definitely ramp up in damage output. So here's some more magic damage dealers, and I think that's really drawing me towards a mage build. So let's sell off the Luna and the Bloodseeker to get back up to 10 gold for interest, and then we'll pick up these magic damage dealers for next round. Just constantly scouting out opponents here just to make sure that we're not too heavily contested on whatever units we want to be picking up. There is one person up there who's looking at mages, and this person down here is like almost locked in on mages. So it's not quite disqualifying. Mages can kind of support more than one player, just because you don't need to have to get everything to 3-star, and there's a lot of like diversity, so that there's options to go even if you're even if multiple people are contesting you. And then here we have to use our free reroll, and I just want to buy like everything in this pack. Oh my goodness.
Who doesn't love arson?
I actually just like really want to buy so much there. Okay, we're apparently getting everything we want. There's a Morphling, there's the Nature's Prophet. Can probably get rid of Chaos Knight. I'm just not going to be able to get up to interest this turn because I have so many things I wanted to buy. Oh my goodness. No, I think this is still probably our best bet. The Treant Protector will eventually replace the Enchantress once we get it to 2-star. In fact, it might actually be better than Enchantress here. Like, would I take a 2-star Treant Protector or a 3-star Enchantress? I think I would take a 2-star Treant Protector. I might just replace it. I might just be correct here. But yeah, we're definitely on a path towards mages since we've had so many magic damage dealers. And so we want to get our mages in there. We want to cut this Chaos Knight. Actually, I could just run like this, right? I could just run the 2-star Enchantress along with the 2-star Treant Protector. So I could sell off Chaos Knight and somebody else if I need to get up gold for interest here. Or I guess I could just run Chaos Knight again. That's probably our best bet since we don't actually have any mages in right now. We'd like to get our mages up to at least 2-star before we start putting them in. And I think I'll move this damage over to Chaos Knight, because he'll be doing a bit more than the Enchantress. So I think this is a really good comp at the moment. I'm not up to 10 gold. Oh, I thought I was. Well, I hope we win so I can get the higher interest, which I think we would. 2-star Treant's going to be really, really powerful for winning fights in this early game. He just has so much healing and actually has really high damage as well. And the Morphling. Morphling AoE does quite a lot as well. Alright, so we did win there. I probably should have sold off something to ensure that we got interest, since we're going to be very low on net worth, because we have not had interest. Yeah, we're like 4 or 5 gold beneath the people in second and third. We are in first place right now. We're not on a win streak, though. We've had a little bit of an inconsistent win-loss record here. I'll pick up Tiny as just a possibility, although I don't think we're going to end up playing him. There's an Ogre Magi. I think a 2-star Ogre Magi is going to be better than this Chaos Knight here. We want to move away from Chaos Knight anyway. And I'm actually going to sell off the Enchantress and the Tiny here to get up to 20 gold for interest. That's really, like, Enchantress is still a good unit here. But in the interest of getting gold and kind of closing this net worth gap, I think that makes the most sense. And we already have, like, Treant and Nature's Prophet are going to be the more powerful units at this moment anyway than the Enchantress. She is fine to enable one of these to get to 2-star, but even if you get an Enchantress 3-star, I'd kind of prefer to have a 2-star Nature or Treant Protector. Pick up the extra Ogre Magi here after combat. There's a potential we get a 3-star Ogre, and then he just becomes a very strong frontliner. Scouting around, we see somebody down here still kind of looking at mages, and that one as well. So Mechanism, not so great of a tier 3 item. I'm going to pick up the Arcane Boots, because in the mage build, you really just want to get the mana items, just so you can cast very quickly. And Fall from Grace is a little bit actively detrimental to you, in fact, because you want to keep your human bonus in mages, because the extra armor shred's not very useful from the Heartless bonus. I'm going to put in Puck to get the Elusive Alliance here, to make Treant Protector and Nature's Prophet a little bit tankier, and also is a good one to proc the Arcane Boots, because Puck only has 60 maximum mana, meaning it's very easy to get up to 50% mana. You only need 30 rather than 50 like most people. So it gets to cast that just a little bit quicker. And the extra elusive bonus, I'm sure, is really helped us out. We were very low on life on all of our units. So we don't need to use this free reroll until we think we're about to lose again, or if we kind of have excess gold, which we don't have. We just want to get all the gold up to higher interest thresholds to, once again, just keep our net worth growing. We're on a win streak, so that's going to help us a little bit, but we still are actually tied for lowest net worth in the game, because everyone else has been very aggressively getting interest, selling things off to increase their gold total. And we're sitting on some useful mages, which will be good later in the game, but we don't want to sell them off here just to get a bit more gold, because we'd probably spend that gold re-rolling trying to find them later. We're one away from the mage bonus, so I definitely want to put Crystal Maiden in as my next unit, and that's going to be next turn. Typically, if I'm like short on gold, I don't like to level up on this round. I like to wait at least a little bit to maximize interest. But with how big of an upgrade the mage bonus is going to be, it's going to be like 40% damage increase, and we've got a lot of magic damage dealers. And Crystal Maiden also helps everybody to cast a little bit quicker. I think it still makes sense to do that. Can pick up the Morphling and Tiny, but once again, we're probably not gonna play Tiny. We've got our front line kind of taken care of with the Ogre Magi and the Treant's Protector. That we probably don't need somebody like Tiny to be a frontliner for us. And now that we've leveled up, we can use this free reroll on a higher level. And I think I'm gonna sell off these Tinies. I might sell off this like Morphling or Lena. I think I'm gonna sell off the Lena. Or no, probably the Razors, actually. I wanted to sell off to 40 gold, just to get that higher tier of interest. And generally in a mage composition, if you're going to go for 6 mages, you can cut one of the mages, right? You can cut... There's 7 mages in the game. You don't need to play all 7. You can just play 6 of them. And generally Razor or Ogre Magi are the worst, because they're the 1-cost units and are just weaker, as most 1-cost units are, compared to higher cost units. So since we already have 5 Ogre Magi's now, and we would only have had 2 Razors, I think I'm a little bit more inclined to keep the Ogre Magi around. So we can ditch the Razors here. The Primordial bonus is really just not a factor. It's so weak, doesn't really do a whole lot, that I don't even consider it when considering Razor and Morphling as a pairing. So we're continuing our win streak here, doing everything pretty good. Got up to above 50 gold now. And there's another Nature's Prophet, which we'll pick up after interest locks in at the start of the round. And so this is why you see that I'm not using this free reroll for so long, is because I knew I wasn't going to have a whole lot of extra gold. Say I use that reroll, and I got this Nature's Prophet. Let's say I got this exact same pack a few turns ago. I'd have to buy this Nature's Prophet because I wanted to, get it to 3-star. I'd buy it, put it on my bench, but I'd be at less gold. I'd be under 50 for this turn, and that wouldn't be great. And I would kind of feel very obligated to pick that up because, I want to get him to 3-star eventually. But if I can just hold on to that reroll, I can delay the purchase of that unit until later whenever it doesn't impact my interest. And I still get the unit. I mean, whether I got this unit 2 turns ago or this turn, it's just as effective. Now, there is some argument if, say, I have a pair of Pucks or a pair of Crystal Maidens that I really want to find the upgrade for, then sometimes it makes sense to use the reroll to hopefully find that upgrade. But in this particular case, I don't think it made much sense to use the reroll any time earlier. Now that we're going to be above 50 this turn, now it might make sense. I'm going to buy the Morphling and Puck. Probably not going to end up playing Kunkka. He does deal magic damage with his boat, the Ghost Chip, but it's pretty low damage. 150 even at 2-star. Like, that's worse than that's like a 1-star Puck orb. That's pretty low impact come the late game. He's pretty tanky, but we've got the Druids, and I'd rather just have more damage output. So he's kind of fallen off in favor of some other magic damage dealers like Morphling, who does 250 or 350 at 3-star. And it's a lot easier to get to 3-star than something like Kunkka. But we'll hold on to him as just an option here. Because he'll still be very good if he gets the 2-star in this early game. Which is kind of unlikely. I'm going to use the reroll probably on this next turn because I don't want to use it right now because I'd just be blacklisting 3 units that I don't care about. I don't really want too many 1-cost units. So I want to wait till next turn. Healing Ward's worst item in the game. Octarine Essence is pretty good on Puck and Morphling. Brooch of the Aggressor is also good on Puck, but I think Octarine Essence being so good on Morphling is going to take the cake here. Nothing here I really want. I don't think I'm going to want Shadow Fiend. I think my pairing is going to be like Nature's Prophet, Morphling, maybe Dragon Knight in addition to Nature's Prophet, Morphling, and Dragon Knight in addition to 6 mages. I think that's probably going to be the likely pairing that this build goes for because we already have the Nature's Prophet. We have Morphling progressing towards 3-star. Eventually we'll probably cut the Treant Protector, but maybe not. We'll see. Once we get like a Dragon Knight that can also kind of frontline. Ooh, this one's not looking too hot. That sniper is really good. Nice! Oh, that was so close. That was so close. This Nature's Prophet just barely got it done. The Treant Protector was silenced by the Berserker's Call taunt, so he wasn't able to get a heal off. Okay, so we're going to pump our gold in so that we'll tick up to the next level on round 17 here, and we can put in a second Ogre Magi to give ourselves a little bit more tankiness up front. And we're about to complete a win streak here, assuming we win the round. I wish I had a better unit to put in. Then I would honestly consider just leveling to 8 just to throw a better unit in. Kunkka can work. You know what, let's do it. It's going to cost me 2 gold of interest, but it probably ensures that I win the round, as opposed to just not having him. Gives me the Human Silence, has some utility if he gets a cast off. Yeah, this is probably worthwhile. It does cost me some interest, but assuming that wins me the round, I'm going to get the 4 gold for completing a win streak. So I think it makes sense to just spend that gold here and complete the win streak and just continue on collecting all that sweet bonus gold here. And we also got a higher level, so now we have a chance of finding Lich any of these rounds, which would be a great mage. As well as Keeper of the Light would be our preferred 4-cost unit. Not really too interested in Doom or Sand King. Sand King does deal magic damage with his ult, so it's kind of nice, but I think I'll pass. Alright, we completed our win streak, got our bonus gold up to 43 gold on the turn. And don't think there's anything we need to do right now. I'm kind of surprised we haven't found any more Treant Protectors. I actually don't see anybody else going for it. Okay, no, there's one person as a 2-star. I was just looking up here. But I really like to get a 2-star Treant Protector so that we potentially get a 3-star one due to the Druid bonus. That's probably like the easiest upgrade we could find to this board at the moment. But since we've got, since we spent our gold, we want to just recover our gold economy, get it back up above 50 gold, which is the maximum point for interest. And we're continuing to win, so there's really no reason to make too many adjustments. I think I'm actually going to kind of shift over this way a little bit. There's a Morphling. I think a 2-star Morphling is going to be better than a second, or than the Kunkka here. He's going to deal a lot more damage, even if he doesn't have a stun. He literally deals 5 times more damage, 250 with his ult versus 50. And I wanted to kind of shift over this way to make sure we're closer to Puck so that more people can get the Arcane Boots trigger, right as it would stood before. Generally Kunkka or somebody would run out of range. So this way, hopefully, people stay closer to Puck for the Arcane Boots bonus mana. Ooh, this person's got the 3-star Nature's Prophet, and that was really painful. Oh, and here we see why we want a 3-star Nature's Prophet. That's gonna crush us. They have like a very similar build to us. They have the 2-star Lina. Pretty much the same alliances, but they have human bonus active. And but they had the bonus Druid. So our Morphlings were not quite good enough to do that, or to punch through all of it. And our Ogre Magi's did basically nothing compared to their higher damage dealers. Look at that Nature's Prophet damage. Wow. It's insane. But that's why I wanted to get 2-star Treant to potentially get a possible 2-star Nature's Prophet. Here we can pick up some extra mage units there. And now we get a free reroll. Definitely don't want this Kunkka. My thoughts on this are maybe we... Do I level to 9 here? Is that crazy? Leveling to 9 would give me the best odds of finding Lich and Keeper of the Light, but would decrease my odds of finding things like the Morphling, and would cost me some gold in interest right now. I think it may be better to spend some excess gold using some rerolls, trying to find those units at this level, rather than leveling to 9 right away. So I think I'm going to spend, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 turns here, just using my rerolls in excess of 50 here. Pipe of Insight versus Maelstrom. Maelstrom is pretty good in mages because it deals magic damage and that gets amplified by the mage buff. Pipe of Insight is better against opposing mages, and there are several opposing mages, so I think I'm going to err on the side of Pipe of Insight. So let's use some of these rerolls. Nothing much here. Maelstrom is really good, though. I'm a little bit upset we had to pass on that, but I think based on what other people were up to, it made sense. Man, I spent a bunch of rerolls here not finding anything. Finally found a Treant Protector to buy, but I was hoping for at least 1 Keeper of the Light or something like that, so that we have a chance to complete our mage buff. Or at least get closer to the 6 mages. So that kind of hurt our net worth a little bit as opposed to people who are not rerolling, but it did improve our composition a little bit. We got the 2-star Crystal Maiden. We're hopefully going to complete this Treant Protector here soon. And then we'll probably aim to get to level 9 on round 25. Preferably with close to a full 50 gold after we level up. Actually, our life total is so high right now. It's still at 85. We're still pretty strong. I'm not going to reroll anymore. I think we just want to level to 9 and then reroll there. We're pretty close to Ogre Magi and Morphling. Pretty far from the Nature's Prophet 3-star, actually. So maybe we do move away from the Treant Nature's Prophet combo in favor of like 6 mages plus Morphling plus Dragon Knight plus Disruptor. I don't know. I guess we could keep Nature's Prophet for a while, but maybe not indefinitely. So we're going to lose this matchup because we just don't have enough damage to punch through this Timber Saw. That was one of the people I had looked at and said, oh, they're mages, that Pipe of Insight would help me, but didn't really help me punch through that Timber Saw. Maybe against that particular matchup, the Maelstrom would have been better. Nothing here. Let's use our free reroll. Hopefully find a Treant. Exactly what we wanted. Now maybe I kind of swap this formation a little bit, so that maybe Treant bears a little bit more of the brunt of their attacks. Maybe we move this Nature's Prophet in a little bit, so that it gets a little bit better value out of this Pipe of Insight. Ooh, that's a big... it's a target buddy, but I think we should be fine against the rest of them because this Pipe of Insight is in perfect spot. They've got that Mage Burst about to come through, but we just negated so much of it with that Pipe. Like, our Treant would not have been surviving for that long, and our Nature's Prophet definitely would have been dead without it, because he himself gets 50% resistance. So that Pipe of Insight won that fight. For sure. And when they get eliminated, there's a lot more mages going to come back into the pool for us. And Dragon Knight or two. Dragon Knight's definitely one that I'm looking to pick up because we have the puck, and Dragon Knight also deals lots of magic damage. So just going to continue on the plan of hitting level 9 on round 25 and still having about 50 gold. So that we can get to that higher level, get a really good chance of finding Lich as our 6th mage, and then swap on over to 6 mages and hopefully find 2 stars on Chaos Knight, or Keeper of the Light, not Chaos Knight. Lena to 2 stars at least, and then maybe 3 stars on Morphling Ogre Magi. Nothing here, but that's okay. And then just next turn we'll get up to level 9. Both of the other mages have found Lich at level 8, or I guess Super Boo's at level 9. So, of course they did. Kind of jealous there, but whatever. Maybe we'll just need to get them eliminated here, and then more of them will be back in the pool for us. It's a scary axe, but because he's basically immune to magic damage. The Hood of Defiance makes him so tanky, but I think we should be fine here in the long fights. He doesn't deal very much damage, and eventually we're gonna burn through it all. It'll take a little bit, but eventually we'll get there. You might get a couple kills along the way, but as long as we get the win, that's all I care about. Alright, so let's pump our golden, so we'll just tick up. And unfortunately, Super Boo here did win. That Lich isn't going to come back to the pool. Both other mages won. I guess there's 3 mages, the scrappy mages as well. But here we see the value of leveling up is that we get better chances of finding ace units as well as the 4-cost units. So we can get the Dragon Knight, get the Dragon bonus. Also triggers the human bonus, so that's nice. Don't need to buy anything else here. Unfortunate that ace is not Lich. But now we still have 50 gold, so now we can start rerolling a bit more aggressively. We still have our full gold, and we have some very good odds of finding the upgrades that we want to find. We're going to stay here at 3 mages until we find the Lich, and then we kind of convert over into 6 mages. Which hopefully is sooner rather than later. Because 6 mages is a pretty big buff to the build. And then we'll go like 6 mages, Nature's Prophet, Dragon Knight, Morphling. I'm going to buy the Troll Warlord and then sell it. Probably at the start of next turn. This slightly increases the odds of finding other ace units, as if the game says, oh, you're going to find an ace unit, well, there's one less Troll Warlord to find. And if one of my opponents is definitely looking for a Troll Warlord, so it kind of denies that pick. Ooh, these items are not what I was hoping for. Certainly not with a Smuggler. Eye of Scotty's a pretty poor tier 4 item, but it's probably the pickup here. Mask of Madness doesn't really do anything for me. I guess it's fine on Dragon Knight. Make him a little bit more survivable. Another Ogre Magi. Gonna pick that one up. I think I'm gonna reroll quite a bit here. I don't think we want the Enigma. There's the Lich. Okay. I think I'm gonna get that in next turn. Because there's a lot of like things I have to change around to make that Lich work at this turn. So I think I'll wait one turn to do that. I'd have to do a lot of switches and I'd get caught right in the middle of something. Unfortunately, we found the Lich, but we don't have a 2-star Keeper of Light or Lina yet. So that's pretty surprising that we don't have those guys up to 2-star. We're going to just barely lose here to this opposing mage composition. That's not bad. Alright, so let's put in Lich. Let's probably sell off the Treant. We just like cut... do this kind of build. Cut the Treant, bring back the Morphling. There's a Puck. I'm just rerolling a lot, hoping to find an upgrade like that to the Morphling. Perfect. And maybe an upgrade to Dragon Knight. Or Ogre Magi. We're pretty close to some 3-stars. That's why I was really kind of trying to make that work. Actually, this Gloves of Haste maybe should be on the Dragon Knight. Maybe it should be on the Dragon Knight. I think right now our big carry is actually going to be the Morphling. He's going to be like most of our damage output. Just because he's got the Octarine Essence. He's going to be casting really often. And deals pretty good damage with it. It's not going to be enough against these 3-stars. They're just a little too tanky. I think once we get our units up to 2 and 3-star, we're still missing Lina, Keeper of Light, and a 2-star Lich. That things will get a little bit better here. I think this attack speed should maybe be over on Dragon Knight. We're one away from the Dragon Knight upgrade, one away from Ogre Magi. I'm still really healthy, that's why I'm hesitant to drop below 30 gold here. Just rerolling down to 0. There's no reason to, like I'm not gonna get eliminated if I don't. So I'd rather keep my gold total at least respectable so that we can continue to scale into the late game, because there's at least one other person with the same amount of life total as us that I'd like to keep that up. Pick up that Nature's Prophet before I forget. He's going to be a good one to try to get to 3-star. Man, Morphling is so good. He dealt so much damage. Unfortunately, got killed just there at the end, but losing these rounds for very minimal life loss, I'm not that concerned. Like, I'm on a losing streak, but I'm still in first because I'm getting the bonus rerolls, and we are so close to a lot of upgrades that I'm happy to take a bonus reroll in exchange for a little bit of damage. If I was taking like 10 or 15 damage, I would not be very happy. But just taking a little bit there is totally acceptable, I think. Pick up the Gyrocopter because he's a pretty good damage dealing option if I get him to 2-star. Probably not better than Dragon Knight, but probably is better than Nature's Prophet. Is he? Is a 1-star Gyrocopter better than a 2-star Nature's Prophet? It's hard to tell. I'm not positive on that. This Morphling was just never got to get out of his human silence. It was really close. Do they still have their Aegis? They do not. So if we had actually won that, could have eliminated them and gotten those bonus units back into the pool. I don't actually know if this Gyrocopter is better than a Nature's Prophet at the moment. I think it's very close. Depends on how many units he hits, obviously, with his call down. Because it would deal 400 damage to everybody in it, whereas Nature's Prophet deals 275 times 4. But it also increases, so Gyrocopter might actually be better. Until we get a 3-star Nature's Prophet, then he's almost certainly better. Creep round coming up here, so I'll have to make a decision. Well, there's a Nature's Prophet. I think we're so close to a 3-star Nature's Prophet that I'm just going to sell off the Gyrocopter. I would kind of like to get Gyrocopter leveled up, but I'm not going to... I think 2-star Nature's Prophet, or 3-star Nature's Prophet's a little bit more realistic here. And I'd rather sell it off, keep the bench space, get the gold total higher for the higher interest. Although it is pretty close. Gyrocopter may be better. But these are the like unbeatable creeps for mages. I don't know if I've ever seen like a mage comp actually beat these creeps. They're so hard to deal with as a mage composition. You don't really have sustained damage, and the burst damage is not enough to burst them from 100 to 0. Certainly not when we're still under leveled on so many units. This next turn we're going to reroll a lot because I'm 1 away from all of these upgrades. There's an Octarine Essence, which I think is going to be better on something like Lich. Or even on Nature's Prophet, really. Keep this on Lich. But I got to reroll a lot here because... Well, there's the Nature's Prophet. There's the Ogre. Still, all of these units we have right here are all 1 away from upgrades. Not the Puck, but Lina and Dragon Knight as well. I'm just so close. Double Puck, so now we're 1 away from Puck, but I'm going to sit here at least 10 gold to keep interest up. Actually, I can probably put Nature's Prophet closer to the front. He can take a couple hits to get his mana higher. And hopefully now with the Octarine Essence, he gets to cast twice in a fight, now that he has a much shorter cooldown of 5.5 seconds. Unless he gets one shot by Sniper 3-star. But luckily we got rid of that Sniper and able to take the win there. Morphling, big carry. Nature's Prophet did pretty good too. Let's pick up the Pucks. Now we're 1 away from Puck 3-star, 1 away from Lina and Dragon Knight 2-star. Still going to be a little concerned about this 3-star build down here that has Pudge, Slarter, Axe. That's just a lot of resilience. A lot of health to try to burn through, even with all of my damage output. Most of the damage is AoE damage, which means it doesn't really help me against somebody who has like one big unit. I'm never going to deal 3,000 damage to one unit. Not in a quick burst, that is. We got the Lina. I'm just going to reroll once and find the Puck. I figured if I found an upgrade on that, it would be great, and I lose the interest, but I found the upgrade. And if I don't find the upgrade, there's no harm in doing it. I'm actually going to reroll like twice more to see if I can find a Dragon Knight. Did not find it, though. Alrighty, so things are looking pretty good. We still don't have Dragon Knight 2-star, which is pretty unfortunate. I had a pair of it for so long. But I think we should be fine here. We eventually get we don't have the burst to kill all these high health units, but the sustained damage output from Morphling with his Octarine Essence, and same with the Nature's Prophet, eventually gets us the win there. Don't quite eliminate them, get them to 1 health. And the other mage player's on a 7-round win streak. You gotta be kidding me. They've got a 3-star Nature's Prophet. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that. Huh. 3-star Nature's Prophet with a Helmly Undying. And on a 3-star Dragon Knight, which I kind of figured somebody would, based on how little Dragon Knights I'm finding. I actually might swap like Lina and Crystal and Keeper of Light here just to bait a Pudge hook. If somebody wants to Pudge hook, they can hook the Lina rather than hooking the Keeper of Light. And there's a lot of Pudges still left, so here we'll see the Pudge, and if it's not Human Silence to death, looks like it was Human Silence to death. So kind of a moot point, but that was the idea of that play. And looks like we get the win here. Knock somebody else out, knock out Calm Player. This is a really close lobby, except for, you know, the top 2 players are doing quite well, but everybody else is in, 11 or less health. Calm Player had an Aegis, so he knocked out that Aegis. A little bit of a visual bug here that shows like double Fall from Grace, when really they had an Aegis plus a Fall from Grace. It just kind of shows 2 copies of that other global. Super Brew, the other mage player, has completed their win streak. So that's a little upsetting to see that they're still alive with all of the Keeper of Lights and Dragon Knights and whatnot Really hoping to knock them out. They do not actually have an Aegis. They have lost that long ago. But ever since they've lost it, they've apparently completed a win streak. So that's a pretty useful Aegis. I guess we just pick up Keeper of Light. There's a chance we get it to 3-star, but probably not. We need to have Super Boo eliminated first so that we get a little bit more available to us. Ooh, this one's not going to go well. That Disruptor ult was too strong. How would we adjust to this? So what we could do to try to bait that Disruptor ult to a different corner if we play this person again is perhaps throw Lina, like our Lina off into like this corner. Maybe bait somebody a Disruptor ult over there or something in that direction. It's creep round coming up here, so it's a dragon. So kind of spread for that one. But that's one possible counterplay we have against Disruptors. Just one person on Disruptor, right? Just one Disruptor out there. So that's the only person we need to worry about. Okay. And after this round, I think we're going to just start reeling a bit more for that. One more Dragon Knight. Still looking for another Lich as well. Or we could like save up to try to level. That's kind of risky because we did lose that round by so much. Trying to save up to get a level up to 10 is going to be pretty expensive. How much would it cost on round 37? It would cost me 35 gold to level up. Might be worthwhile. Ooh, a Refresher Orb. Okay, Refresher Orb is probably better on Nature's Prophet so that you can cast twice real quick. And then the Octarine can go on Puck, I think. And then maybe the boots on Keeper of Light. I'll use the free reroll regardless. It costs 35 next turn. I think it may just be better to reroll at this level rather than try to get level up. There's the Dragon Knight. Now I might start saving to try to put a second Keeper of the Light in. That's a 3-star Arc Warden with a Sacred Relic. Uh-oh. And a 2-star Enigma. That's pretty scary. But I think we get it. Oh no, he's so close to dead. Puck, you got this. Puck got this. Oh, Puck got this. That Octarine Essence made Puck so much more survivable because the phase shift now has a 1-second cooldown. Oh man, the Puck Octarine Essence really was MVP there. Alright, so we knock out the 3-star Arc Warden, which 3-star Arc Warden getting 4th place, that's gotta feel bad. And the other mage player's gone. Sweet, so it's just me versus the Knights. Alright, so I don't need to worry about having like somebody spread out to bait any effects. Because they don't have any. I guess it could be like Witch Doctor. That's not that important. Let's take a look at their lineup here. That's a 2-star Troll Warlord. That's gonna be pretty scary. But I think this is probably the correct lineup right here for us. I'm not sure how we win if we win this at all, but I think we've got a good chance. Yeah, we got it. Oh, and that's going to deal massive damage because everyone just barely survived. 20 damage. Okay, not 22. Still, man, that was crazy good. Oh boy. Let's see if we can do that again. We cannot level up yet. It would cost us 35 gold, remember, to level. But like, we can actually just play for the super long game. We can play till like round 40, right? Because like even if we lose twice, I don't think we lose by 36 on 2 rounds combined. Did they adjust their formation? Oh, they definitely did. I'm actually going to move Ogre Magi up here to bait the Dragon Knight to attack it and not splash its damage to everybody else. I think that's probably correct. At least initially, that saves us some damage. Oh, not quite enough damage, though. Oh, maybe it is. It is! Yes, the Morphling got out, got to jump, got to evade a lot of their AoE effects, and just cleaned up the fight on the back end. So that is the game. We don't even need to level up. But if we had lost just narrowly there, we could have saved up our gold till past round 30, or past the creep round on round 40, and leveled up even more efficiently on round 41, and hopefully find somebody else to throw in for some good value there, some more magic damage. But yeah, we got a sweet first place with mage build that had a bunch of 3-star units: Nature's Prophet, Morphling, Puck, and Ogre Magi. Could never find a 2-star Lich. I swear I have the worst luck in the world of finding a 2-star Lich. But we got the win and got some more rank points. So good stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned some things. And make sure you like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.